I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come on, bring it on. What I say, better watch what I do. Better eat the money I'm getting against you. If you ever doubted me, you don't have a clue. I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Rope Break. I am your host, Jeff Wolf. I am alongside Eric Vanek. Eric, how you doing today?
I'm good, Prince Pretty. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You are an evil genius. This week's episode is going to be mostly about predictions. We have a couple big shows coming on this weekend. We have TLC.
TLCs.
Yeah. And we also have the show I'm really excited about is NxT Our Evolution is going to be tomorrow. This is Wednesday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to bust this out and get this posted so we can actually give you guys a prediction show for once before the show actually happens.
Who do we have that to blame, huh?
We have only me to blame, but it's okay. So let's get into NXT first, just because it's Thursday instead of Sunday. You've been binging on NXT, correct?
Yep, I all caught up.
Nice. Before we actually get into the show, what have been your thoughts from the last probably 2 months that you've gotten to watch of NXT?
Well, obviously I pretty much started after the last NXT major show takeover or whatever it was, and pretty much Sami Zayn has been the focus. He's been the man.
Yeah.
He's been the guy that's been shooting up the charts, to fight Neville for the title. It's been done very well. He's gone through every obstacle that you could think of to get there. I love how it's been built up. I wish WWE writers would sit back and watch and take some notes, because this is how it's done.
That's one of my biggest gripes is it's all WWE. It's like you have NXT where it's literally a breath of fresh air. It's like if you would take a high class indie company and kind of dumb it down to a WWE level, but still it gives you a breath of fresh air watching NXT versus watching Raw.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what's so different.
Whoever's writing.
Yeah.
For NXT compared to Raw and SmackDown. Like Punk said, there's 20 guys doing Raw and SmackDown writing. You don't know who the fuck is who anymore.
Yeah. And I thought I was thinking of this earlier today. How crazy is it of the amount of talent that is now on NXT? I mean, for you take the last 2 or 3 years of what has happened on the indie level, and the indie marks out there. I mean, I'm in that group. I mark for indie talent because I think it's a lot better than main talent. Once you get to the WWE, kind of dumbed down. You have basically like a dream team roster going right now. I mean, you have Hideo Itami, you have Kevin Owens coming in, you have Adrian Neville, you have Sami Zayn, Tyson Kidd is pumping out great matches.
Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor. But I always say his last name wrong. It just doesn't sound natural to me. But yeah, it's crazy the amount of and that's just the main guys that you're thinking of. I think the tag team work in NXT is phenomenal right now. As much as I don't like the what are they?
Vaudevillains.
Yeah, the Vaudevillains. As much as I don't like them, it's a new, different, original. I guess original from a long time ago, but still old as new. Tag team, and you have the Lucha Dragons. I mark for Kalisto every single time I see him on there. I don't mind watching Sin Cara now being in that tag team. I think that the tag team work is phenomenal. The one interesting aspect I think is that the one division that took a hit was the women's division. I don't see the women's division as a very strong talent, and I make no doubts about it. I'm not a Charlotte fan. I think Charlotte's there for flair. She has that name attached to her. I mean, is she okay? Yeah, she's okay. She's okay to WWE's level. But when I look at NXT versus WWE's level, I look at people like Paige was killing it, and
Emma was really good there Emma was good there for a while until she stole something from Walmart.
Until she stole an iPad cover. Not even an iPad, just a cover.
Yeah, it's like $20.
$19.99 resale value.
Too bad it wasn't $9.99. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, they could have done something with that.
Emma, what did you steal? How much was it? It was $9.99, just like the WWE Network that I'm stealing.
$9.99, sir. But yeah, I think I just watching NXT. It's a breath of fresh air. It's not painful to watch, like especially when you have to binge watch it. Like I did the same thing. I got like a month and a half behind, and I just kept busting them out, and it wasn't painful at all. Like even I think we were talking about this like a month ago, or maybe just a couple weeks ago, when they brought in, and I didn't like that they brought in Titus O'Neil, but even when they brought him in, he came in as this I'm better than everyone here because I'm on the WWE main roster. You all are piss-ons and everything like that, and
he actually put on good matches.
Yeah, he goes in there and he goes on with like Sami Zayn and others, and he actually had solid matches that I don't ever recall seeing him ever being able to do in the WWE's main shows. So that's another cool thing about NXT versus WWE is they're able to be more creative and able to have longer matches.
Well, that's been true for however long, though.
Yes.
I mean, remember when NXT, we first started watching it back in the day, and
when it was FCW.
Like when it first became NXT, though.
Oh, okay.
And like Jinder Mahal put on great matches against Seth Rollins. Like he had a great feud with Seth Rollins.
That was an outstanding feud, and they had a series of amazing matches, and it just never translated to the WWE with Jinder, and that's extremely dissatisfying.
Yeah, and it's like that with Titus because Titus won't get it. I mean, it's like they have him and Heath Slater as a tag team, and they hardly ever use him.
Yeah, Slater Gators.
Yeah.
Explain that one to me. I don't get it. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's get into the prediction of the show. I just wanted to kind of just talk about NXT for a second because it's like I've been wanting to talk about it, and I had to wait for you to catch up. So I'm glad we're on the same page finally with that. But this Thursday they're having another, not a pay-per-view. They don't like to call it pay-per-views. They're special events for NXT. And this one, I don't know if this will be the best one, but it's going to be right up there. I mean, the amount of talent that's on here, I think, is going to be really good. We start with Hideo Itami and Finn Balor versus the Ascension. Gosh, all four of these men are amazing. I read today, spoiler alert, so if you don't want to be spoiled about something that happens on SmackDown, just skip forward for 30 seconds or so. The Ascension got played a video at SmackDown, kind of like a hype video, so they will be going to the main roster very soon. It seems probably in the next month, which they deserve. The tag match between those two should be amazing. Absolutely with Hideo and Finn in that as well. It very well could be the best match of the night.
Yeah, well, Hideo and Finn, this is their first big match, really.
Yeah.
Together. Just from watching them, I think I like Finn better than Hideo. Hideo, to me, just seems like... I mean, he's very good. There's no doubt he's going to be, pretty good. But he's just like... I don't know if he's just... I don't think he has the style down correct yet.
He's very kicky.
Yeah. And that's so kind of like what it seems. And I haven't seen anything that's wowed me yet.
No, I agree. Knowing Kenta from matches I've seen in like Ring of Honor and other stuff, I know what he's capable of doing, and he is capable of absolutely wowing you. But I agree, and I kind of agree with to put Finn in there as well at that kind of same level so far to this point. We only have like a month of their.
Well, Finn's
matches.
done a couple things that wowed me. I mean, he had the crowd chanting "Holy shit" on one of the shows.
Yeah.
Where he did his double boot stomp.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
I'm really surprised that happened.
I think that was on the last show with Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd versus those two.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be a good match. Who I think is going to win? I think that you're going to see Itami and Balor win that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with the news of Ascension going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I mean, they're going to push these two guys. That's their two new big stars.
Yeah, and basically the Ascension, they've done a very good job with the Ascension because they have created a way for them to lose the titles and still be extremely relevant and still be extremely badass and strong. So I don't think it's going to hurt them at all losing this, and then you're going to see them make it to the big top in a little bit.
That goes to the fact of WWE writing. I wish they would send the WWE writers down to NXT and send the NXT writers up to the main roster.
Yeah, I'd really like to see or know or read somewhere who the writers are for NXT versus who the writers are for WWE, because I would assume that maybe it's at least a couple on the same page.
Yeah, or it's the fact that Vince has nothing to do with NXT and it's Triple H. Now, I'm going to say Triple H is going to know a little bit more on the wrestling side.
Yeah.
Of what to do and how to do it. From what I've read and seen in the Triple H documentary, Triple H is the one doing everything in NXT. I've heard Vince doesn't even fucking watch NXT, which I highly doubt. I'm sure he watches it.
Yeah, that's the same thing as saying, oh, it wasn't on purpose that we sent CM Punk his papers on his wedding day, or I didn't even listen to his podcast.
Yeah,
shut up. All right, so then the next tag match that we have, just going up the list, we have the champions, the Lucha Dragons, which I love, versus the Vaudevillains. The Lucha Dragons have lost some steam as of late. They've really extremely pushed the Villains to a level where you think that they really are the tag champs already. I've loved the vignettes that they've done with like the little people as the Lucha Dragons, and at the end they say like no actual Lucha Dragons were harmed in this film, but they will at our Evolution. So I'm going to say the Villains are going to take this one. They're going to be the new tag champs. They've really pushed them extremely, but maybe more than anyone in the whole company right now.
Yeah, I think the Lucha Dragons will hold the titles still.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many tag teams that are still going. I just think, I mean, Kalisto and them they just won it at the last NXT takeover. So
my thing is, do you really think that they're going to push the Villains like they are right now for another solid 2 to 3 months before there's another show, or do you think that they're just going to randomly maybe win them at just like a random?
Well, I think Finn Balor and Hideo Itami are going to go at the tag team titles. Would be my thinking.
Okay.
Because they're not ready for the main event world title picture yet.
Yeah.
So I would assume them. I mean, could you imagine Lucha Dragons versus Balor and Itami matches?
Yeah, it'd be outstanding. I mean, you put all those. I mean, the Villains versus Tommy and Finn would be great. Lucha versus them. I mean, heck, make it a 3-way. Put all three of those. I mean,
you remember how Aiden English, how he was pretty much like a piss on in the beginning.
Yeah, he really was.
He had that English poet kind of
it wasn't going anywhere.
And he was the one getting fed to Mojo Rawley at the beginning. And just getting eaten alive, and Bray Wyatt's and all them guys. And now, he's granted, they've come up with a great gimmick. I'm sure these two came up with their own idea and gimmick, and it's freaking great. It's something new. It's something fresh. But I just don't see those guys as legit tag champions when you have so many other talented teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talented, but not as talented as I can name off. You could throw Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. I think they're more talented than the Vaudevillains. Yeah,
I agree. I think, though, it goes back to how they're being pushed right now, and I just think they're doing an outstanding job the way that they're putting these guys over. Like I've told you before, I don't love them. I really don't. But I do love the way that they have been put over. So I'm going to go with them as winning the titles this week, the Thursday night, tomorrow night, and we'll see.
Okay.
All right, bathroom break match. I kid. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. They've built this up to be your typical best friends, scorned, now they're enemies. Charlotte and Sasha. I don't think either girl is really that legitimate as a talent. Charlotte has gotten better. I'll give her that. She has gotten better since winning the title. She
Well, she's the best one in NXT right now.
It's true. It is true. My thing with Charlotte right now is, and this is a negative now on NXT Creative, is the fact that overnight she went from a heel to a face.
Yeah, she had sympathy for Bayley, and it made her a face.
Yeah, it's like they, but they didn't like really even have build up to that. It was just like, oh, I'm Charlotte. Maybe she's not a face. Maybe she's like a tweener, because she still isn't like yay everyone. But she's
but she's going against Sasha, who's a total bitch and a heel.
She's a bee on wheels.
So you have that. You have that Becky Lynch girl with Sasha now.
She just like shot up the ranks real quick.
Yeah, and you got Bayley with Charlotte.
We need some Alexa Bliss in our lives. That's what we need.
That was what I was going to say, was that.
Let the Dublin, Ohio girl do it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Sasha wins this match via Bayley turning on her, and Bayley becomes a heel.
You know what? I was thinking they've set it up perfectly for Bayley to go heel. I don't know if Bayley has it in her.
It would be interesting to see.
It would be interesting to see, and you're right. Like they have it's been set up perfectly for Bayley to turn. That's what I would do as well. I just don't know if Bayley can do that creatively in her.
I'm gonna go with that. Even though Sasha is not talented. I mean, she's a little bit talented, but not as talented as like Alexa Bliss, who isn't even getting any run. She's at one match in the last 2 months.
I know. I don't get it. Like, I understand you got to pay your dues and everything, but at least put her on like every.
I mean, the girl was freaking bleeding out of her nose.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking Carmella is probably like the second biggest diva right now in NXT.
Yeah.
You got to think Carmella is going to have to go up, is going to be a face and is going to go up against somebody here soon too. So. Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
But you know what? For this one, I'm gonna say Charlotte still wins. And
I think Charlotte's going up soon too, so that's another reason that I'm picking Sasha.
Yeah, I can feel it. I mean,
she was just on Raw last week.
Yeah, she's been on every once in a while. It seems they bring her out. I think she's got that Flair name attached to her. It's just inevitable for her to be on that main roster. There's nothing more she can really learn down in NXT. There's not, and that's kind of showing how little of good talent there is for the women's division, because she really is the best woman on the NXT roster right now, and she can't really learn from people that are lower than her. She just can't.
Yep.
And then before we talk about the main event, we're gonna get the debut of Kevin Owens, who is Kevin Steen for other people that weren't aware. They've been doing these vignettes with him where it says like fight, kind of to go on his fight Steen fight gimmick that he was having in Ring of Honor. I like the last one because it kind of showed the real him of talking about all these other people that he has worked with over the last 10 years and how they've gotten their chance to be in the WWE before he did, which I don't agree with a lot of these other people getting in before him, but it is what it is. I think one of the only reasons that he's even getting this shot is because of a lot of his friends in there that have probably talked him up, and plus the fact of you have a guy now like Bray Wyatt, who is a bigger dude, and he was able to show them that you don't have to be this tall, super skinny guy to get over. So I think with Kevin being a little bit of a bigger dude, they're going to let him go.
I'll be honest with you. I never watched Ring of Honor or anything, so I've never seen a Kevin Steen match. So
you should watch some. You should go on YouTube and you should watch some, because he really is a great talent, especially for his size. I don't know what he's really going to debut. I don't know if they're going to put him in a match. I don't know if he's just going to come out and do a speech. I would assume it's going to be kind of like Hideo Itami, where he comes out, talks for about 5 to 7 minutes, then they're going to set up a quick feud with him and someone. Maybe.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they have him be the heel and maybe come out and attack Baylor and Itami.
Well, that could happen too. I was thinking maybe that they would set up him and that who's that lone wolf guy? That Corey Graves wannabe.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron Corbin. Yeah,
Or-
I like those vignettes. I don't remember him yet.
But that was the other thing I was going to mention is I think they're going to have a Bull Dempsey versus Baron Corbin match.
Yeah, they keep.
They haven't announced it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be like one of the matches thrown in there.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that they were going to just add that in there. Are you a fan of what they've been doing with those two? Just these squash matches where the crowd is like chanting how long it's going on, whatever.
I guess. I mean, they're basically doing the same exact thing with both of them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with them after if they have a match.
Yeah.
Where they go from there. It'll be interesting though. I think I like Corbin better than Bull Dempsey though.
Oh, I completely agree. Bull Dempsey, he's got failure written all over him. Like there's just nothing that stands out.
Yeah.
Like that he's using a gimmick that would have gotten over in the mid 90s to maybe the late 90s. Now it's nothing. So I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. I could be wrong. All right, so then in the NXT Championship match, we have the match that people have been wanting with the ending that will probably keep people satisfied for a while. Adrian Neville, the champion, is going to face off against Sami Zayn. Basically, if Sami Zayn does not beat him, then Sami's going to leave NXT, which writing's on the wall. Sami's going to be your new champ.
Yeah, either that or he's going up to Raw and loses. So
yeah, it's one way or the other. I mean, there's enough good talent on the NXT roster. I would keep him still on the roster a little while. I mean, this could be Adrian Neville's chance now. Maybe Adrian Neville, by losing, is the next to go up, which that's been the formula for NXT, FCW, OVW for all of time.
Yeah, and I like Sami to win this match. Sami has been doing some awesome stuff. I mean, just
no one
freaking
better.
Awesome. No, really not. And I'm a huge Tyson Kidd fan, and I think Tyson Kidd's been doing awesome. But Sami has been doing great promos.
Yeah.
His matches with everybody have been outstanding. Neville is just solid. You could tell he's gotten a lot more comfortable talking. Which I really like about him, and I think that's what WWE was waiting for before they brought him up. He's more understandable now. You can actually understand what he's saying. There's a few words here and there where you're like, huh, what the fuck did you just say? but it's not bad. I think this is going to be match of the night. It's going to be on last, obviously. I mean, Sami Zayn has arguably had the best match of every NXT TakeOver pay-per-view so far. His first one with Cesaro, the 2 out of 3 Falls match, was maybe match of the year that a lot of people don't even really remember some reason.
That's match of NXT.
Yeah, that's like, but any wrestling period, that might be match of the year.
Yeah.
And he was in the 4-way match at the last NXT TakeOver for the world title, and obviously that was a tremendous match. I don't think Sami disappoints. He's going to put on another great match, and I see a lot of false finishes in this match, and just keep you on the edge of your seat, kind of like they did with Cesaro and him at the first NXT TakeOver. I agree with you. Sami's going to win this one.
This one's going to be extremely special to watch.
Because the crowd, he's the hottest wrestler with the crowd right now.
Yeah, and they've done such an amazing job of giving you false hope with Sami. Like more and more, but in a way where they still keep you there. Now,
yes, it's like Daniel Bryan in a way, but without Daniel Bryan was getting screwed over all the time. Sami was just coming up inches short every time. So it's something a little different, but the same concept. Yeah,
it's the same concept. I think that the outcome will be different. I hope so, because as fun as it is to be on this roller coaster with Sami, you can only be on that roller coaster for so long until you're like, the ground's not that far. I'll just jump off. If they keep doing this, and they keep giving you if he doesn't win tonight, I'm going to start to not care. Or Thursday night, I'm going to start to not care.
Yeah, because this is just set up. Yeah, this is set up for him to have his big moment.
Yes.
So
yes, and his promo work, like you said, has gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot more comfortable. You can see the transformation of him from Cesaro to Neville. In between, he's grown a little bit more and a little bit more, a little bit more. He's gotten more comfortable, better with the crowd. I mean, the crowd's always loved him. His promo work is getting great. I loved his very ending promo on the last NXT show. So I do expect Sammy to win this. I expect Adrian Neville to maybe stick around for about another month and then make his debut on Raw or SmackDown or whatever.
I could see him making his debut at the Rumble.
Yeah, they could see that. Then it's like, gosh, with his size, it worries me to no end. With his size.
It worries me with every guy.
Yeah.
Like I would rather Sammy just stay in NXT forever, but I know that's not what he wants.
Yeah, like I would rather. I know it's not what he wants. I would rather NXT just be, like
they should give
their WCW.
They should like have Raw and say fuck SmackDown and put on Thursday nights. Put NXT on Thursday nights on Sci-Fi.
I'll tell you, I would watch that every single week, and I haven't watched SmackDown in a long time. I read the results, so I know what's going on, but I just, to me, it's like Raw is long enough.
Well, from what I've read and heard is now that they don't want there to be an A and B show between Raw and SmackDown. They want to make them both A shows now. So once they switch over to Thursday nights, that's when it's supposed to change. So we'll see how they do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like even right now, they've kind of done it. I mean, SmackDown has basically been a show where it's Raw Junior.
Well, what I think with SmackDown, what hurts them is so many people can see the spoilers before it happens. I think if it was a live show, it'd be a lot better.
I agree, but it's still, like I was saying earlier, Raw is long enough. It's a 3-hour show. Then you have SmackDown, which is 2 hours of a lot of weeks, the same exact stuff. Like they tweak stuff here and there, but it's the same stuff. It's like, how interested can you really be for 5 hours of the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, SmackDown back in the day, I mean, was awesome.
Oh my gosh, the Eddie Guerrero era was amazing.
And I'm talking like even with The Rock, when The Rock was the champ.
Yeah.
I mean, they would just, continue these feuds and build them up even more, and just it was awesome.
For a while, to me, it was a lot better of a show than Raw. I mean, for a while, you had SmackDown, which was the wrestlers' show, and then you had Raw, which was the entertainers' show.
When Heyman was writing for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Heyman was writing for it. Heyman just put out he just wrote well. He's a genius.
Yeah. All right, so we've talked enough. We wanted to get this in 20 minutes for the prediction, and that did not happen.
We're only a little bit over.
Are we? Are we only a little bit? Okay, that's good.
It's at 27.
Oh, okay. Not bad. About half an hour. That's not bad. But yeah, I'm excited for this show, so we'll see next week how our predictions went.
I don't think we're going to talk much about TLCs. We ain't going to talk as in depth as we were.
I mean, I personally don't care as much as far as the two shows. Oh, one thing I do want to mention on the pre-show, Corey Graves is going to be on there, and I suspect Corey Graves is going to make an announcement that he is no longer able to be an in-ring competitor for NXT. Corey Graves suffered some injuries, some continuous injuries, and it really affected his health wrestling-wise. So it'll be interesting to see what the announcement really is going to be. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the announce team. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know what it really is going to be, but it should be very interesting. So that is one pre-show I'm actually going to want to watch for.
Yeah, and then one other thing I want to ask you for. A lot of people have been waiting for a debut. When do you think Solomon Crowe will debut?
I heard that they changed his gimmick recently. I heard he was injured for a while. He was injured for a couple months, I think, maybe just a month. But yeah, recently they changed his gimmick, so it's got to be soon. But the thing is it is definitely going to be after this debut of Owens. But yeah, he was one of the biggest free agents to get off the indie market. And we haven't.
We haven't even seen him.
No, we haven't heard a thing about him. So I don't know if it's turning into a CM Punk thing where people don't really believe in him or what. But I'm hoping it was just injuries, and now they didn't think that gimmick would get over. Which, that gimmick wouldn't have gotten.
Well, I think that's what derailed them was a shitty gimmick.
Oh yeah, it was a horrible gimmick idea of like being a hacker. Come on, that's not even him at all. So yeah, I expect.
I want to know who the fuck came up with that. Like, I could just see it, Stanford, fucking Vince McMahon sitting there like, all right, Sammy, this is what we're going to do with you. I got this whole big plan, buddy. We're going to give you an iPad, and you're going to just press buttons on it, and you're going to be a fucking hacker.
That sounds horrible.
That's going to be great. Oh, yeah, thanks, man.
Like, what do you think Sammy Callahan's thinking in that moment? Like, oh, okay, sure, I'll push buttons, and the arena lights will flicker.
Yeah.
Because I've hacked everything.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Vince.
Yeah, I can just see Vince with this shit grin on it. Yeah, I see Vince with this shit grin on his face. Like, it's like, you ever see the Beyond the Ring documentary? Like when Draw's like, he's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
I joke about that with my friends all the time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, let's go to
TLC's. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, well, let's start with this part. We have a stairs match between Big Show and Eric Rowan.
I don't know I don't know really what you can really do other than throw the stairs at each other, pick it up, hit it with somebody, choke slam them on it or whatever. This is one of the matches. I'm actually going to be at the show, so this will be pretty cool. But I just don't know what the hell they're going to do with it. But I do hope Eric Rowan wins and they keep his push going. Yeah,
you kind of have to have Eric Rowan go over on this.
Big Show, at this point of his career, Big Show is just a guy to put people over.
He really is, and I think he's okay with that. I think he's pretty comfortable with that. He's always seemed like a good dude that just does what's right for the company. And has been extremely loyal to whatever company he works for. I was actually watching, I don't think have you watched any of the Monday Night Wars things yet?
A couple. That's the next one I need.
Okay. I was watching today from the one that came out last night, and I didn't know this story. The reason Big Show really left WCW to go to WWE was because Big Show was still on, this is a 99, he was still on his first contract, and it was a horrible contract compared to other top guys, yet Big Show was one of the top guys for years, and he went to Bischoff and asked, hey man, can I get some kind of a raise to compensate me for what everyone else that I'm working with is making? He said he was making like 1/6, 1/7 of what they were making, and Bischoff goes to him and says, why the hell would I give you a raise when you're still under your contract? And Big Show's like, well, that really hurt, and that really pissed him off, so he just left because of that. And I don't blame him at all. But yeah, Big Show's a good team player. I think he lets Eric Rowan go over on this one. And I mean, it's very important for Eric Rowan's career to go over on this one, for this to be really his first feud, singles feud, getting away from the Wyatt.
I really hope this match is a lot better than I'm expecting, but I don't think it's going to.
I'm expecting a 5 to 7 minute clusterfuck.
I'm hoping it's 5-7 minute match of these two beating the shit out of each other with some steps and a cool finish. That's all. That's what I'm hoping for.
I agree. What's the pre-show? Oh, the pre-show. Okay, it's a new day, baby. It's a new day. That's on the pre-show, and it sucks too because, all right. First of all, this New Day shit is horrible. Now, if they make them actual like angry black people, I think it'll get over in an extremely great way at this time of what's going on in the country. But for what it is right now, they're just happy gospel men.
It's like Martin Luther King all over.
I mean, it's if they bring these guys in as a nation, I think it'll be gold. I really do. I just don't know if they have the balls to do it.
I don't know if they have a mouthpiece to do the nation. They don't have a Rock.
Xavier can actually speak very well, and I think Kofi, when he is emotional, can speak very well. Big E's hilarious. If you ever go online and go on to his, what is it? It might be his Instagram or something like that. So it's something where he makes these like 10-second, 15-second videos. He used to do a lot of them with Caitlyn, actually. He's hilarious. Like, he's got charisma. He's got a shit ton of charisma. But talking-wise, in front of a crowd, I don't think he's got it. I think he's the muscle, obviously, in the group. But the other two, I think, can do it.
Do you remember earlier this year, before Royal Rumble, how big Big E Langston was? He was the guy.
Huge.
He was the guy who had the Intercontinental title, and he would come out and he saved John Cena from a beating at that time. I forget what the gimmick was.
He was high-fiving
and
Cena.
The crowd was going apeshit for Big E Langston. And the Royal Rumble hit. It was supposed to be him and Roman Reigns having this big Royal Rumble, and Roman had this huge Royal Rumble, and Big E did nothing. And ever since then, Big E has went so far down the hill, I don't know if I can see him anymore.
He must have like...
He took like a couple weeks off,
Yeah.
came back, and then like you never saw him again. Like
I wonder if he said something to Stephanie or something. Like inappropriate or something. I don't know. Like he was
I would love
he was
to
the
see
it factor. He was Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns.
I'd love to see Big E on Art of Wrestling and see what he has to say.
Yeah, and if this New Day thing doesn't work out, he's got to be future endeavored. That's just I don't think he deserves it. I have been a Big E fan. You were a Big E fan too, ever since we saw him in NXT.
Yeah, like I want to see him do this 5 stuff because it would get over.
And you know what? You still every once in a while see fans with signs that have that. In the crowd.
Like do the 5 count that he used to do. He would get over with it. Have him fight these big guys. Like I could see like a heel Ryback versus a face Big E.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But
anyway,
we spent way too much time about this.
It's not even. We didn't even talk about the match.
That's the fucking pre-show match.
I know. But you know, that's what sucks. That's WWE shtick lately, or it has been for a long time. Is I want to see this match. Like I'd rather that be on the main card. But anyways, it's the New Day versus Goldust Stardust. I see Stardust Goldust taking it.
Stardust making his return back to where Stardust was born.
That's true.
Cleveland, Ohio.
That's true. Yeah.
This is his homecoming, and they're pushing the shit out of New Day though, so they're gonna get the win and like bury Goldust and Stardust even more.
I hope not, but I can definitely see that.
But they have been. They've been like losing like nonstop lately.
No,
so
yeah, I agree.
So I'm thinking this year might be finally the time of Goldust versus Stardust
At WrestleMania?
Yeah,
I hope so. And let I mean, personally, Goldust is killing it. Like,
yeah, like he's doing. Yeah.
But yeah, it might be time to let him go. All right, the Divas Championship. We have Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee. We have rumors swirling like wildfire that this is AJ Lee's final match, and that her speech on Raw, talking about how she hopes that one of the actual talented female wrestlers gets the title next year, and then she later on added on, but I'm still the queen, I'm not done. But a lot of people are seeing the writing on the wall, and they think that really was her goodbye speech. This could be her final WWE match. And if that's true, then obviously AJ's not going to win. If I take that out of my mind,
a lot of people are saying a good heel turn would be Brie turning on Nikki and costing Nikki the match and AJ winning it.
Yeah, I mean that would be good.
But I see Nikki winning.
I do too. I don't think AJ's done enough as of late. She's just kind of there, and it just feels uncomfortable every time she's on TV now.
Yes.
It just feels like stuff's going on with her and Punk. I mean, obviously getting married, and then behind the scenes you can only imagine the conversations that happen and the uncomfortableness between her and corporate people. So it's just uncomfortable. Yeah, I see Bella winning this, regardless if this is AJ's last match or not.
Okay.
U.S. title. We got Rusev and Swagger. One of my favorite feuds from the last year. And that's not
and now they just like rekindled it like this week.
Yeah. It has.
It's like, okay, we're gonna throw this on there.
Yeah, I mean, Swagger came back at the last pay-per-view for the pre-show versus Cesaro, and then what was it, like the next night?
What I like about this pay-per-view is every title's getting defended, which is awesome. This was definitely a good, a great feud, like you said. I don't see Swagger winning though. Like they're just pushing Rusev and Rusev. Rusev still has never lost a match clean.
I know, it's so disappointing because it's like I feel Swagger finally can get it in him to get up the ladder.
Yeah,
but they're
I
not
think
gonna
this
do
is
it.
going to be a little bit better match than we're expecting, but I think it should be a really good match if they give them the time. That's the problem.
They can do it, but
with so many matches, I don't think they can afford to give these guys 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're right, and that's kind of unfortunate. They do work well together. It will be a good match, I bet. And I just see Rusev going over.
They gotta have somebody big beat Rusev.
But who's that gonna be? Like, how big does it have to be?
Like, it's gotta be like just somebody come in, like a coming back. Like, remember like 2 years ago when Crimson and TNA was undefeated?
What I was thinking right now.
And James Storm came back and beat him in like 3 minutes.
But then it ruined Crimson.
I know.
Because then they didn't follow up with it. So whoever, just to have him lose at some point and just follow up with it.
Yeah, like what I could see is like even like Neville or Sami Zayn coming up being like this small guy and Rusev bullying him, and they end up fucking beating him.
There's no way in hell Vince is gonna let Neville come in and give him an arrow.
They let Paige do it to AJ.
Yeah, but we're talking about Rusev and Neville.
Like, I could see him like bullying him and shit though, and Neville.
Sami Zayn I can see, but because of how small Neville is, Vince wouldn't do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
All right, Intercontinental Championship match. This match should be exciting. You're in for a treat on this one.
Oh my God, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most.
This match should be brutal, athleticism, false finishes.
Luke Harper is going to show everybody, like, how athletic he really is.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, like, I could see him doing, like, a leg drop from the top of the ladder or something.
Like, some people might think, by the way, it's Luke Harper versus Ziggler for the Intercontinental title in a ladder match. Some people might think that since Luke Harper's a big dude, a tall, clunky kind of dude, that he's not really that athletic, and what's he doing in a ladder match? I assure you, you're going to be amazed.
Yeah, this isn't Mark Henry in a ladder match, people.
No, this is not Great Khali.
No, this is a very athletic big man. This is the one I'm just so excited for.
That match is the one that of all matches, I would be absolutely fine if that ended the show.
It makes sense for Harper to keep winning and keep his thing going.
Yeah, it does.
Me personally wants to see Dolph in his hometown win the Intercontinental title in front of his home crowd and have us in Cleveland go absolutely apeshit.
Yeah.
I am going with that route. I'm going with my heart on this one and going with Dolph stealing the Intercontinental title back from Harper.
I'm gonna go with the fact that, like you said, it's Cleveland versus the new Intercontinental Champion. And the fact that Dolph Ziggler is from Cleveland, that's the one thing that makes you wonder, is he actually going to go over because he's a hometown boy? Being a Dolph fan, obviously I want him to have the title, but Luke Harper having the belt at this point means more, and keeping that belt around his waist means more, and he needs to win, which is funny because we would normally be on the other side, but with everything that's happened, Luke Harper needs to win this, and I think he is going to win this. But still, I think if that's not the best, that's going to be the second best match of the night.
Okay.
And then we have Miz and Miz Dow versus the Usos for the tag team championships.
This is going to be another match. I was hoping this was going to be the ladder match as well, because this would have been a great ladder match. But I mean, I understand why they didn't. Man, this is going to be a freaking great match. Miz Dow and Miz have so much momentum going, though, and with the whole Naomi maybe turning on her husband, or costing him the titles, maybe she's at ringside and does something and costs him the match or whatever, starts a feud between those two. I see something like that happening, but I see Miz and Miz Dow winning. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see Miz and Miz Dow winning it as well. I thought that was an interesting backstage segment with them, so that definitely could come into play for this match. I mean, Mizdow is. I think others are more high on Mizdow than I am. I think he's
so over right now.
He's so over, and he's entertaining for sure. But I'm ready now. I'm ready now for the payoff. I'm ready for the end of that, and I'm ready to just see him, because you're not going to have him be this stunt double forever.
Yeah, well, obviously it's going to be him turning on Miz and going on his own. I just hope they don't waste it. So we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all we're going to say about that one. We both think that Miz and Mizdow win that one. Should be interesting, and you're right. I am now interested to see if there's any kind of interference or if there's anything with his wife to come in and do anything.
Yep.
All right. Ooh.
We should have 2 more matches?
We have 3. This is a long show. Ryback and Kane.
And a chairs match.
This should be boring.
Yeah. A lot. I was reading an interesting article. I think it was Bleacher Report, and they said this might be one of Ryback's biggest matches of his career.
Oh, this is do or die for him now.
Because they said, if you can't have a good match or a good program with Kane, who the hell are you ever going to have a good program with?
Yeah.
Everyone is on Ryback right now because of CM Punk putting him on blast, pretty much.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see how they do this. Kane is just like Big Show. He's a company man. He's going to do what's best for the company, and obviously it's putting over the young guys. So I think Ryback is going to win this match. I think they could do some really cool stuff, but I'm afraid for Kane. I think Kane's got to be afraid that he might get hurt. Like if he does like a shell shock onto like an open chair, like that's folded out.
Yeah.
Like something, I could see something like that would be really cool. But if like he misses and like lands on the top of the chair, lands right in the Kane's back or something, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Just like it's a dangerous match. It could be a really cool match. I think it's going to be a lot better than you're thinking because I think you think Ryback's really boring.
Here's the thing: I love Ryback. That might be a surprise to you. I do. I have a Ryback T-shirt.
Oh, I know you were a fan of him when he was a face.
Yeah, well, like I see every now and then you see glimpses of what he can be. You can see glimpses that he has the ability to be good, but for whatever reason, he always lets you down now.
Yeah.
Like I hated his tag team with him and McGillicuddy.
Curse Axel.
Curtis, he has so many damn names. I hated that tag team, and I hated Ryback with that tag team. But Ryback as a single person, I can get behind Ryback. I like Ryback. He's a cool-looking, big-ass dude, has these RVD tights, has some really cool, powerful moves. Like, I love Ryback. But the
crowd's getting really behind him, too.
Yeah, the crowd's starting to get behind him again. So I'm a fan of Ryback. It's just he always – you just never know. That's his problem is there's no consistency with him. He has for every 5 minutes that's good, you have 15 minutes that you're like cringing, like what is going on?
Yeah.
So I'm
hoping that's not the case this Sunday, but I think this should be a little bit better than average match, and I don't know what they're going to do with the chairs, what new they could do with the chairs, because both guys aren't really athletic. They're not going to be running and then jumping off chairs into something.
No, but Kane will take a bump. He's still okay with taking bumps. So yeah, I'm interested
and
with an open mind.
Chairs matches. They make me. I just don't like them anymore because you can't do headshots.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do with them now.
Vince will take you backstage and bend you over a table and take you right there in front of everybody if you hit somebody in the head with a chair.
Yeah, no concussions. We can't.
Yeah,
we don't need another Chris Benoit.
Yeah, like he will literally just bend you over and take you right there in front of everybody.
Speaking of just taking it, we have John Cena versus Seth Rollins.
I thought you said we had 2 more matches.
No, we had 3. We had Ryback, Kane, we had Cena, Seth, and then we have Dean Wyatt.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So John Cena and Seth Rollins. Tables match. What's the stipulation on this? Oh, yeah, the stipulation is if Cena loses, he's no longer the number one contender.
Yep.
Which is interesting that they keep throwing these weird stipulations at him now in 2 pay-per-views in a row. This match will be good.
Yes, I think it'll be extremely good. I think it has potential to beat Dolph and Luke Harper.
I'm going to say no, but that's just because I look at Cena and Seth versus the talent of Harper.
Well, Seth has done some great stuff with the Shield and against Dean. But this is definitely Seth's biggest match of his career.
Yes, it is the biggest match of his career.
And he gets to go one-on-one with the face of the company.
Yep.
He's going to have all eyes on him. I expect this match to be the match that ends the night.
Yeah, I would expect that too.
This is... it's a tables match. There's so many things you can do with this.
What's the over-under on how many tables get broken?
I'm hoping at least 5, but
I'm going to say 7.
That'd be nice.
I think there's going to be a lot of tables broken in this one. I think it's going to be stacked. I think it's going to be hung in the ring on the corners of the ring posts.
Well, it's the first one to go through a table loses, so you can't really...
Oh, that's true. Well, that won't be 7.
Yeah, so 1.
Yeah.
And then, now, here's another one I was reading on that Bleacher Report. They said it was an article about likely face and heel turns at the pay-per-view, and they brought up one very interesting one that I thought was good. Now, right now in the company, you have a lot of faces right now. You have Ryback, you have John Cena, you have Dean Ambrose, you have Roman Reigns, you have Randy Orton supposed to come back as a face. That's 5 main faces.
Yeah.
And for heels, you don't really have too many. You got Triple H in them, but they're not really there anymore, supposedly. You got Kane, you got Seth Rollins. You don't really have a lot of heel face power.
Yeah.
Or heel power. So here was the interesting tidbit. What if Dolph Ziggler comes out and costs John Cena and puts him through the table somehow, and Seth Rollins wins?
Oh.
That would be interesting because they need another star heel, and the only way, Dolph would be buried behind those other 5 guys. I pretty much just. So Dolph as a heel, maybe you could do a Dolph and Cena program there for a little bit. I think it would be great. Personally, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will happen. For some reason, though, I really see Seth Rollins winning this match.
Yeah, somewhat one way or another, I do see Seth winning.
Either with the Jerky Boys,
Jerky Boys.
Tammy Noble and Joey Mercury doing something, or somebody coming out and doing something. But I could also see it the other way too. Like if Rollins has all this backup come out, like Triple H comes out or something, I could see Roman Reigns coming out and Roman saved the day.
Yeah.
So I could see it either way, but I really think in the end somehow Seth Rollins wins this match.
It can go both ways, obviously. I would like to see Seth win. I don't know if the whole Ziggler thing. I like it because I like him as a heel. I just don't.
I always liked him as better as a heel because he was a great cocky heel.
He's naturally a heel. Heel Ziggler. It's his tag.
Yeah.
It's his Twitter tag. He loves being a heel. I just I don't know. Here's my problem with it is if you do that with Cena and Ziggler, you have people like you'll have Ziggler after Cena. You have Seth who keeps going after Cena. You have Brock Lesnar who's in line with Cena. So you have a lot of people.
But this could be the time to do Brock versus Seth. But even though that doesn't make very much sense.
No, it's not that I don't agree with your feeling on the whole thing. I don't agree that the staff will be able to make it work. The writing staff will be able to make it work going forward.
They're lucky if they can make the first segment work.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, yeah. And then it's showing as the first match, but I doubt that this will be the actual main event. But it's just going to be a crazy good match probably. And that is Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. It's going to be just chaos. It's just going to be hell.
In a TLC match.
In a TLC match. Like,
what I don't like is it's a TLC match without something hanging above the ring. That was my first gripe that I didn't like. But there's no doubt this is going to be a very good match. I expect a whole bunch of chaos. These two are so creative. Like, they're going to use tables, ladders, and chairs in ways you probably never could have imagined or think that they could do. Like, I expect some crazy, like, bump for one of them.
Oh, I expect both of them to take a crazy bump. I mean, Dean will at least take a crazy bump.
Yeah. Yes, they're going to do something like... You know how every year they have... The WWE sets it up where they got the tables and the ladders and the chairs like hanging from the ceiling from everywhere. Like, I could see something like that, like they did with Batista and Cena that one year.
Yeah.
You know, where he knocked down all the chairs and they landed all on top of him. I could see just something crazy like that. But for who's gonna win this match, man, I think Dean has more momentum and more to gain from winning. I don't want to see Bray just get buried either, but I think going forward, I think it's best for Dean to win this match. I'm going to go with Dean.
Yeah, I think the way that it's going, Dean's going to win this. It was interesting to listen. It was either a listen or a watched, or I saw the transcript of an interview that Bray Wyatt did with some news.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Where he talked about everything is done for a reason, and everything that they've done. Well, he was specifically talking about the hologram that showed at SummerSlam, where he was saying that they have strategically done everything for a reason. He never does anything just to do it. There's always a reason, and he said that's going to come back at some point. So it's going to be interesting. The dynamic of this feud and how long this feud's actually going to go, if Dean is a bigger picture in this feud or whatnot. So I do believe it's going to keep going, but I think they have to. Both of these men are in such a similar spot where I have Bray obviously higher than Dean at this stage for what Bray has done in the last year, but they both are extremely important on the future going forward with the WWE. So I don't think they're going to necessarily bury either of them. I do see Dean being a lunatic, like they're pushing him to be, and winning this match. It's going to be a very interesting finish, and it'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be a good match. It definitely will be a good match. I think overall the show's going to be good. I think you're in for a treat.
Yeah. The one thing I did want to ask you before we end this.
I want to talk about something else after you talk about this, too, before we get into the Punky Brewster.
Okay. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Sting, anything. Do you think any of those guys come out, or they show up? Brock Lesnar, any of them guys? Do you think they have any part of this show?
It's interesting because if you went on the network and you watched the Best of TLC special, it's very interesting to see just how many surprises TLC has brought you every year. So I would like to see one of them. I don't know if they're going to waste a Brock appearance. They're definitely not going to waste a Sting appearance. That would make no sense to me. Brock's a possibility, but I again would be surprised. I would like to see either Roman or who's the other guy you mentioned? Orton. I would like to see either or both of them make an appearance on the show. Orton needs to be back at some point. Hell, why wasn't he on last month's show? So
yeah, in his hometown.
Yeah, it made more sense for that to happen than the Sting thing to happen. So
yeah,
I'm going to predict you will see one return.
And Triple H too. Do you think Triple H will have any involvement?
No, not on this show.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Yeah.
I kind of gave you who I thought. I want to say Roman for sure. Orton, I'm not sure. I would say Roman gets involved somehow, either maybe help Cena out or something.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because that segues into what I want to talk about with Roman. there was a huge amount of backlash after Raw, because as you may or may not have known, Raw was the Slammies, and Roman Reigns wins the Superstar of the Year. And people are saying, oh, it's staged, it's BS, he shouldn't have won Superstar of the Year. Before he was injured, he was all of your guys' favorite person in the world. Yeah. Like, the last year, you can't help but not say that Roman Reigns had a hell of a year.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It started at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
He set a record. Mania, what did they do at Mania with him?
Mania was him and Orton. No, it wasn't. That was SummerSlam. Mania.
Yeah,
what did he do at Mania?
Wasn't it because there was the Shield versus the Wyatts at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And then
what was it?
Oh, I forget.
He had to have been in something.
Yeah, of course he was. I'm sure they did a three-way.
What WrestleMania was that? Was that 30?
Yeah. Was it Denver's Evolution, maybe? No. No, because Daniel Bryan was facing Orton in them. I forget what the hell. Maybe they had another triple threat with the Wyatts.
I'm looking it up now. Because they had to have done something with him.
Yeah. Well, I know he had a match.
Yeah, it was that match. It was so forgettable because it was 7 minutes. Because Billy Gunn bursted something, remember?
Oh, yeah,
It was the Shield versus Kane and the Outlaws.
Yep, now I remember.
And Billy Gunn got really something. He like bursted a blood vessel or something. I forget exactly. Does it say? No, it doesn't say right here. But yeah, that's what they put him in.
Yeah. So Roman did that. Then he got on his hot streak. He was going against Orton and all them guys.
Yeah, he was hot. He was real hot.
Yeah. I don't know if he's Superstar of the Year, though. I personally went with Daniel Bryan, even though he's missed half the year, because for what all Daniel Bryan did for that first quarter of the year was enough for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't agree with that. They're like, oh, no, he's got to be there all year. He's got to be there all year.
See,
so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Give it to fucking Cena again?
I would have given it to him last year, but you can't give it to him this year in my book. Because what? He was there for 4 months.
Yeah.
He didn't do enough in 4 months, in my opinion. But whatever.
Well, he won the fucking title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he did that. But see, that's what I'm saying is, that's why I hate WrestleMania where it is. WrestleMania needs to be the December show. That's why I loved Starrcade with WCW. Because Starrcade was the biggest show of the year, and it was on last. When you have WrestleMania 3 months, 4 months in the new year, it's kind of like a year is like 15 months for them.
Well, yeah, that's like they used to do Survivor Series on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why it's like, I in my mind, a year is a year. So, no, I wouldn't have given it to Daniel Bryan. I don't know if I necessarily would have given it to Roman Reigns. I really haven't even thought about who I would give it to, but Roman Reigns is definitely not someone that I'm going to bitch about, especially when everyone was calling for him to win the Rumble.
I mean, the one that's been there... The one that's been there consistently all year is Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I mean, Seth has had an amazing year, too. He's had a really good year.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Money in the Bank and all those other matches with Evolution and the Rumbles and the Wyatts and all that. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe Bray would be Superstar of the Year. I don't know. That's a conversation.
Maybe JTG.
Get money.
Didn't they give Billy Gunn a Z-Pack after that match?
1 or 2, at least.
WrestleMania. I just got a text. Punk's still waiting for his royalties.
Still waiting on the royalties. Give him a call, Paul. All right, so that's our predictions. It's been a good show, but we're gonna go with one more topic and then we're gonna finish it just because.
Yeah, we're a little over an hour.
We're a little bit over an hour, so we're probably not gonna talk too much about this, but we just want to bring it up because this is the month of the Punk. CM Punk.
Fuck yeah.
CM Punk. Yeah. Not that we can complain. CM Punk broke internet news again. What was it? Saturday night?
Yes.
I think it was because I think it was like right after the Ohio State game.
It was the night of this UFC pay-per-view.
Oh, that's right. It was true. That he will be joining the UFC, and he has signed a UFC contract. This news quickly went from excitement to utter anger online. A lot of people hating on this. And here's my take on the whole thing. First of all, it's a 5-fight contract, it looks like. A lot of this goes both ways. When a wrestler joins MMA marks, the hardcore MMA guys hate it. They hate it. They don't think that pro wrestlers know what.
Yeah, because somebody's gonna die in the octagon.
Yeah, someone's gonna die. And then wrestling fans, it's the same way. We hate it when an MMA guy thinks he can just join wrestling because they think it's fake or whatever.
Tito Ortiz and Rampage at Cleveland TNA.
Yeah, we saw it. The only person I believe that's ever made the switch from MMA to pro wrestling in a very well fashion is Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, she did pretty good too.
She did
and
good.
some other things.
Her and Val.
And porno.
Chop it.
No, that was the Chinese girl.
No, but
they had a little Chinese girl, but
wasn't Ryan involved in that at some point?
Yeah, or it was after that or something like that.
Okay, so he signed like a 5-fight contract. Punk's been training for a long ass time. Like he's been training.
Yeah, he's been doing jiu-jitsu and all kinds of other stuff
for a long time. Like, and apparently this deal happened in October. They just weren't able to make it official yet, probably because of the whole thing with Punk and WWE and everything like that, and the lawsuit that was happening. Punk never does anything half-assed. He trained before. He's going to train as hard as he can. He's going to try to make this successful. He's going
to get into a good camp. Like he's already had a bunch of inquiries from some of the top UFC camps out there.
Yeah, and he's
not going to be in some. He's not going to go to fucking Joe's Crab Shack, fucking UFC camp or something.
Where does your mind go sometimes?
I'm just making up words in my head, but I'm just saying he's not going to go to some jerk off fucking training camp. It's just not going to happen. And the people that say, oh, he's going to get his ass kicked and stuff, you know what? He might get his ass kicked, and he knows it. He says, there's no fucking storylines here. It's either go in there and win, or you get your ass kicked. It's either or.
But it's not like it's not like Dana's going to put him up against someone that has like a record of 20-2 with 10 knockouts. He's going to be fighting guys that have fought 1 or 2 fights to start out. Like if he extremely wows them, then yes, he might get in line for a more profile fight. But here's the thing that people are. I mean, that's the MMA part of this contract. The fact that Dana White is doing this makes him a pure genius. Like, you just wait and see what the buy rates are going to be on the fights that CM Punk is involved in. I guarantee you it's going to knock your socks off because it is going to be amazing. Not only is Dana White getting the MMA/wrestling crowd, he's getting the professional wrestling crowd that didn't even give a shit about the UFC or MMA in general. And it's getting a huge crowd to come in.
I've seen maybe 3-4 UFC fights in my life. And here am I, excited as hell. Like, I'm going to watch the UFC on Saturday on Fox because I'm, like, so excited for UFC now and to see what Punk's going to do and stuff.
Yeah.
And also because I don't know how to say his name properly. That's Stipe Miocic. Did I say it right?
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
All right, well, he's fighting one of the top guys. He's like number 2 versus number 4.
Okay.
Whatever. His name's like Stipe Miocic, I think his name was. He actually went to my same high school.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I guess he was a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
A bunch of the people around here that I'm friends with.
Okay. I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Well, he, so I'm interested to see this kid because, he went to my high school.
Yeah.
So that's
in Ohio.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see him and how he does as well. I'm really interested to see CM Punk. I laugh at the people that say, oh, he's so banged up and hurt now. Wait till he gets in the UFC. Well, you know what? WWE wrestles pretty much every night of the week.
Yeah.
In UFC, he's going to fight once every 4 or 5 months.
UFC, and that's the funny thing is like I was talking to one of my friends about a month ago. When we were in high school and we watched UFC, you would see people fight like once a month. Now you see people train for like 4 months to get ready for a fight.
Yeah, it's just like boxing.
Yeah.
You know, Floyd Mayweather will fight twice a year, if that, or once a year.
And
you know, they train that whole time. CM Punk's going to do the same thing. You're going to see CM Punk maybe fight at the middle to end of next year will be his first fight.
Yeah, he's going to be. You know what I would like to see? And this is just me being a personal fan of both of them. Is I would love to see CM Punk and Josh Koscheck in a fight. I would absolutely love that. I'm a big Kaz fan, and that would be they're both probably going to be in the same kind of weight class. They're both similar. Kaz is a little bit bigger, I think, but that would be they're both. Oh, the interviews they would have with those two going after each other would be hilarious because those two are both just assholes.
That's the other thing I'm so like hyped and interested to see is CM Punk live uncensored fucking promos on these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's not scripted. He says his own shit, whatever he wants. Like, with dude from Fear Factor, like, asking him stupid fucking questions, and he just being a fucking smartass.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to see Punk just nail it. And I agree that, you know, Punk is going to go in there with somebody tough. I mean, maybe not his first fight, but he's not going to be set up for failure.
No.
Dana White knows how big of a cash cow this could be. The only thing with Punk that I don't like is his age. He's 35, 36 now.
Yeah.
I mean, really, how much longer is he going to be able to do this? I could see him maybe doing this till he's 40. I mean, he's in great shape.
Well, if he has a 5-fight contract, that's basically a 2.5-year deal. Maybe a 2-year deal, depending on stuff. 2 to 3 year deal. So I think this will be his only deal in the UFC. I find it very funny that a lot of fighters are so angry about this, and I don't know if that's actually them being angry or if they just realize how much money is involved with any CM Punk fight at this point. I don't know if they're smart enough to realize that and that they just want to jump on that and try to cash in on the hype that's surrounding CM Punk right now.
All right, and the last question before we end this, I want to ask you, do you ever see CM Punk winning a UFC title?
I don't.
I hope he does, but it could be tough.
I hope he does, but the talent of UFC fighters with the belts right now versus the talent of CM Punk, which obviously he's 0-0. He hasn't had a fight yet. We don't know what he's going to have. I'm not really going to make a huge judgment on CM Punk being a fighter until that second fight, until I see the end of the second fight, just much like I did with Brock Lesnar. But I think Punk to get here's what I think. I think Punk will, by the end of his UFC run, will be a top in line for the top 10, top 5 even perhaps of his weight class. But I just don't see him within the first two years or so. I don't see him getting that title fight unless it's absolutely planned by Dana White and it's just there for money. And if that's true, then UFC fighters and fans, you can bitch all you want. I would agree with bitching about that. But on his own talent, I don't see that.
Well, you know what? If Punk earns it, which he should, then awesome.
Oh yeah, if he earns it, good for him.
But if he's getting his ass kicked and wins by, like a fluke or whatever,
or if he beats these nobodies for like first 4 fights, then you deserve a number 1 shot now. What? No.
Yeah, I expect his first 2 fights to be semi-decent guys or whatever, but I want to see that third fight. Okay, here's your challenge. Here you go, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to say the top guy in his division, but maybe a top 5, top 10 type guy.
Yeah.
Here you go. This is your big match. It's got wrestling fans and people like me that's never really watched UFC interested in UFC now. So this, like you said, Dana White is Paul Heyman right now. He's a freaking genius.
Yeah, I mean, and Dana White has a lot of flaws. He's a huge douche. He is an absolutely one of the biggest assholes to his talent once they've done so much for him. But he's absolutely brilliant as well as a promoter. So I give him much credit for doing this. I'm excited to see this. I personally have been a UFC fan ever since I was in high school. So I go back and forth in being in the UFC and being out of UFC. This is definitely going to keep me interested because I'm not as interested as I used to be. But good move for UFC, good move for CM Punk. I think next week we will discuss the fact that there is rumors going around of how much this is of a ploy by Vince McMahon and CM Punk for different areas. So we'll get into that for next week. I think that's going to end our show for this week. Enjoy NXT Our Evolution. Enjoy TLC. Eric will be there live. We will see you guys next week.